8:45 and I already have to climb that early in the morning. This one's already... Oh. Today we will try another episode. Welcome to Niki and how I set a boulder. Choose the holes, this time orange holes. Not the biggest variety, but beautiful holes, and I tend to use soft, smooth shapes like slopers on this pinch. And then the wall over there, our logo wall, which is like a mirrored slab, and then it's going into slightly overhanging, so changing wall angles. And I will take a look at the hole set first, then at the wall, and then hopefully an idea will pop up. I think one of the most important things is to put bolts in all the holes before you start setting, so you can change holes in between every time you want and you need to. Otherwise, if you need to change and tweak something and you need to take a look for holes, it just takes time and makes it slower. So when I started, I wanted to set the boulder only with slopers and maybe these big pinches, but that's not possible, not enough holes, so I will add more crimps to the set, but I still want to make it good looking and smooth climbing, but sometimes you have to add more holes to your set. Usually I try to stay in one set range, looks better and climbs better. What I want to create is like a mantle in the beginning, then we push with our hands over our head in the blue area, then we push ourselves and walk ourselves over to the right to the arete, and then we do some technical arete moves clinging onto the arete for the finish, I hope. So I start with creating the mantle, because if the mantle doesn't work, the whole boulder doesn't work, or the part afterwards doesn't work. So I want to create a mantle from this overhanging thing into the slabby thing where we stand not really stable. So I try to do it with these two pinches, like standing up on this pinch, and maybe we can stand up on this one afterwards. So I start with the start and then I immediately start testing it. You could add a start foot, but this one's already... Oh. The mantle was a little bit too hard in my opinion. It was possible. We could solve it with a toe hook, dynamic catch, but I want to make it a little bit easier because I'm small. I'm really good at crunching or crouching myself together, crouching tiger, and I just want to make it a little bit easier. So I open it. So at the moment it's like on a small spot. So I will move this one first. So I move this one lower to the left. Makes it a little bit easier to stand up. Because we have a slab here going in again, we should be able to stand on this. Maybe then do some hands-free action with putting our foot higher. With the volumes up there. So it works, we just have to stand up to the left. Like this way it looks easier. But standing up like this is easier. And now I put a volume in this section. So we can't really pull on the volume, but we can lean a little bit outwards and push and get stability, to raise our right foot onto the pinch. what I wanted to create now is a point which is sticking out a little bit further. So with this volume, we created a point, hopefully, where we can push and palm ourselves underneath it, put our right foot higher, but we can never pull on something. Because if you can pull on it, we are safe again. I want to create a situation where you always have to push and feel a little bit uncertain what you're doing with the body. I put the volume in. After the volume, I hope we are going to the arete. I put 3 slopers to the arete. One off the right, one off the left. Maybe you can reach the left one with your right hand, but then maybe going dynamic around the arete, like this. And then I stood on the ladder, so I know, okay, how high can I lift my right foot? And then I like this sitting on something, heel hooking or sitting, and then crossing over, which creates like an intimidating, not intimidating, but really, what is it called? Engaging feeling on an arete climb. An erection, like Sam says. Afraid of right now is that you can traverse at the start. To avoid this, I have to make one of the footholds smaller. Maybe the sloper maybe is becoming an only foothold, but let's have a look at it. I assumed I could lift my right foot onto this one and then walk over it, push onto it. I can't do this. Even I don't want to move this volume right now. I'm doing a lazy tweak and just add this one here or there. So it's closer and we can push ourselves. If this doesn't work, because we're pushing ourselves around the arete, if this doesn't work, I will move the volume. Almost. I will move the hole we're going to a little bit lower, which makes it easier for all sides. Okay, for the move around the arete. First position of this foothold was here, a little bit too far away to push ourselves onto it and over it. Second position was here, which was a little bit too far away. Once you went over it, I couldn't reach it really good. And I think the middle position is the best position. We can push ourselves onto it and then over it. And I lowered the hold we are going to as well, so it should be less length dependent. Works way better now, feels a little bit easy for Orange, to be honest, but I love the blind dynamic move around the arete, and it's hard to get the left hand in the right position, so now we can tilt and tweak it with the size of the holes. I need to catch some breath.
So I just tested Niki's Orange, pressing out from underneath the volume, The concern was that a tall person could reach all the way around and avoid having to do any kind of dynamic movement. What I found was that I could reach the hold, but then actually moving my left hand from underneath the volume into the other one was still going to be quite hard to do without losing control or being out of balance. So I think it's kind of unavoidable for really tall people to make it. You can't reach it without eliminating it completely for shorties. So I think it's a good compromise at the moment, and we'll work on it from here.
Okay, that works quite good. It's unexpected. You go around the corner, just like you have to hit it, get it. And you could play around making this one smaller or bigger to make it easier. Okay, once we are around the arete, we have these two slopers. Then I step high with my right foot and I try to soak my hip close to the arete and be like really close like this. So the whole body weight is to the right, so we can cross over with the right hand, then go to the left, have this volume as for my foot, and then put a drop knee in, so we can go really far with our right hand again. And I like going to the left again because we use the volume as a handhold and as a foothold multiple times, and it's a big surface, so which makes it fair and even for all body sizes as well. Everyone can choose where he or she wants to stand and do the drop knee. So we cross over to a crimp, not too hard because it's really high now. To a crimp, we could make it like this. Then you have to pull really hard to the left, which makes it hard. I will put it like this, so we cross in it and can pull ourselves underneath it and to the left until it's really good, and then we go to the top hold. I will add another start footer for your right foot, lower, because in general I like it to have like two start footers, one lower to start the movement off and the other one to do the movement onto and over to, and especially for the mantle. If we don't have a footer, you only smear, which makes it a little bit more burly, and I want to make it a little bit easier to engage the people into trying again and again. Yeah. Never shut them down at the start. Never shut them down at the start. After our testing round with Jack and Sam, we tweaked the boulder 3 times. Tweak number 1, we moved the start footer from the right to the left, which avoids and makes it impossible to jump straight from the start pinch to these two slopers. It's only possible anyway if you're really tall, but we have lots of tall and big guys here in the gym. Tweak number 2, our foothold on the right used to be this, and now it's a really small flake and chip because you were able to hug it and to climb it as a fridge problem. Now the move sitting on this foothold is a little bit more engaging, intimidating as well, but once you find the position, it's really good. Tweak number 3, remove the crimp. We are going to a little bit further to the right and lower, so it's earlier to reach and it's a little bit more engaging and it forces you to get into the drop knee. The boulder starts with a mantle, then a dynamic move around the arete, a blind dynamic move for most sizes, then a really good arete move where you sit on this foothold, and then a drop knee to the top. So we have a good mix of different styles, different movements, and I like the boulder really much now. I hope you like it as well. Let me know what you think of it and let me know what you think of the process we try to cover and record here, and we'll hope to see you next time. Bye bye.